go. Here we go. Rafa gifted Garcia. Can you believe it on the Easy D podcast?
Aquí estamos.
Aquí estamos, mijo. Aquí estamos. How you been, brother? How you been?
Been really good.
Yeah.
Just keep training hard.
Yeah. So for all the listeners, bro, you are the former Combate lightweight champion.
Yeah.
All right. And now UFC fighter, UFC prospect. How's that feel, brother?
That feels awesome because, that was my goal since I started in this sport.
Yeah.
I worked so hard to get to there, and getting there it's amazing.
See, that's what I want to know, brother. Right when you said that, I worked so hard to get there. Tell me, brother, how was it? Tell me from the beginnings. Your first fight, amateur, to pro, to combate.
Well, I feel like, it was really hard just to get into a fight, being an amateur, just because, my family in the beginning, they were really happy about it.
Yeah.
My dad and my mom, they were really supportive of it.
Yeah.
But it was just hard, because when I barely started, the fights were in bars, stuff like that. So
I remember.
It was really hard for my dad to be like, yeah, come support my son, and he's gonna get in a fight in a bar, and my dad got a lot of criticism for that. So
really,
yeah, they were like, well, why is your kid gonna fight in the bar? You're gonna take your kids to fight in the bar? They
didn't understand the concept, huh? They didn't understand exactly what it was.
No, they didn't know that. They thought it was more like a street fight stuff, and telling somebody like Rancho Grande, go come see my kid in the Rancho Grande.
Yeah,
I didn't even have the age to go into Rancho Grande. I was 16 years old.
Yeah, I remember, brother. I remember. And so, how many fights did you have over in Mexicali?
Well, I did my first 4 fight before signing with Combate. First 4 pro fights, and then I got signed with Combate. Fought in Mexico City. Fought like 8 times with Combate, became champion, and then I got signed with the UFC.
Nice. And how many amateur fights did you have?
I think 7.
Like 7 fights, huh?
7.
Yeah. Because I was looking. Obviously, they don't count. They don't count the amateur fights on the pro record.
Yeah.
Because right now, what's your record right now?
14 and 2.
14 and 2.
Yeah.
Huh? Okay. Yeah. I thought I saw that right. 14 and 2 plus your 7 amateur fights, 7 amateur fights. Wow, that's a lot of fights.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fights. I remember. Did you do any of that? Any boxing as well?
Yeah, I did some boxing, but just like amateur. It was more like the Battle of the Badger and stuff like that.
Yeah, just to kind of work on your skills a little bit.
They would ask me to go. I was always kind of like a replacement, so like last minute replacement. So
yeah,
because they would only do fights here in the valley, like maybe twice a year, and everything was more in the winter because in the summer you can't do fights. It's too hot.
Yeah. And what made you want to get into combat sports? Because I remember, and the reason I know some of this, obviously, because we go way back, from the Team United days, and that's the only reason I wore this shirt, brother,
Nice.
because it's, for you to bring back some of those memories from Team United. You know what I mean? The Valley's best. You know what I mean? So, what made you get into it? What did you like about it?
I always like fighting, just like wrestling and stuff, just like playing around. I remember when I was little, my one of my uncles gave me like a pair of gloves, and I would take them everywhere, just trying to put my gloves with my cousin, just with anybody, like neighbors and everything. And my dad got to a point where I would like kind of wrestle him, try to like rough him up a little bit. He would just kick my ass. But then I got so when I was like 12 or 13, he's like, man, you're getting too big. Like,
right.
I gotta take you somewhere so you could release all that energy and get you off me. And he kept telling me like, you know what? There's people that are trained to do this. Like you can't just go taking your boxing gloves everywhere, and you're gonna get your ass kicked one day. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. I know how to fight.
Yeah.
And I went to Team United and I got my ass whooped. My first day, I came out with fever and everything. With the fever, I was like, couldn't even sleep. I remember I was shaking at night and feeling like so sick.
Those training sessions were something else.
Yeah, it was just the warm-ups were.
Just the warm-ups, right?
Yeah.
I remember, brother. I remember when I used to go, and I think I was towing at that time. And I remember, but I loved it. Ulises opened up the door to everybody. So did Eladio, so did Nacho, all these guys, the old school OGs of the Valley. You know what I'm saying? And it was some fun times. It was a fun time. Yeah, we got beat up for sure, but it was fun, man, and it was one of those things that of mixed martial arts, like at its purest. you know, at that time. You know what I'm saying? It was just one of those things, man, that, you know, we just enjoyed working out with each other and punching each other, wrestling and all that. And I remember I had a blast, man, you know, and then I remember you coming in and working out with us, and you were young. You were really young.
I think I was like 12, 13 years old.
Yeah, man. You know, you were amongst that young age group, you know? And it's funny because I remember Ulisa saying one time, he made a comment one time when you started coming up, and he said it, and I wish I could remember you know, exactly where it was, what we were talking about, but he said it. He goes, you're going to see Rafa in the UFC one day. He said it, brother. He said it. You know, he put it out there, and look at it. It happened, you know. And it's funny because, you know, you get that stamp of approval, you know what I'm saying, from an OG like him, from the Punisher, you know, that says something, you know what I mean, because he saw something in you, and I think a lot of people saw something in you.
Yeah, I mean, especially with you, I mean, he was like just so rough, and he was just like, like he'll tell you things like super like he didn't care, like he'll tell you things straight up what he really thinks about you. I mean, he was the most honest person, and more like if he doesn't like you, he doesn't like you. If he likes you, like like if he doesn't think you're good, he'll tell you that you're not good.
Yeah, you know, and I think he's one of the guys that, you know, he was one of the unknowns here in the Valley, you know what I mean? Because his jiu-jitsu was pretty good, man. He was a really good fighter in his own right. You know, he was the last Cage of Fire champion, middleweight champion over there.
Well, I think I learned all my jiu-jitsu from him. For like everything I learned, all my basics, they were just from him, and I mean I still use them. I tell everybody, I mean I had like a different style of grab, because I don't grapple. I just do jiu-jitsu. I try to blend it in with my wrestling a little bit. That's what I learned from him.
Yeah, so and we'll take these baby steps. So you started with that, and I remember you did some wrestling too, huh? High school?
I wrestled like a year and a half in high school, because
what school did you wrestle for?
Imperial High School.
Imperial High School, a Tiger.
I didn't have the grades to wrestle, because I mean I was more focused on going and training MMA and stuff like that. So one day Yuli came and told me, why are you wrestling? And I was just like, I don't like it. And my dad was like, be honest, like you don't have the grace to wrestle. and Yuli just looked at me, and he told me, I mean, I don't train no burros, he told me. He told me in Spanish. He's like, I don't train no burros, get the hell out of here. You don't have the grace, if you're not sparring enough to get the grace to wrestle, I don't want you here. He kind of like kicked me off the team and got my grades up, wrestled the rest of the year. And then
I think because he knew that you had something, and I don't think he was going to let you off that easy, and he knew what you were made of. He knew you were going to go back and get your grades up. I'm sure of it, bro. I'm sure of it. You know how they say that, you know, one thing is getting yelled at by your coaches and all that, you know, in any sport, you know, and you hate it and all that. But what's worse is when a coach doesn't yell at you, doesn't talk to you, doesn't acknowledge you. You know what I'm saying? I think that's even worse, because it's like, you know, they really don't see nothing in you. But that coach that's always on your ass and, you know, giving you advice and all that, it's like, you know, there's a reason. You know what I mean? For sure. You know, and that's what I try to tell my kids as well, you know, in their sports. It's like, hey, he goes, oh, well, coach is yelling at me. I go, that's a good thing.
They care for you.
Yeah, exactly, because they care.
I remember you. Sometimes he even used to slap me when I was in training. He'd be like, boom, slap me in the face, like, bring your hands up. Or slap me in the hand, like, you don't use your strength, use technique, or just being like that, you know. So
what'd you think of the high school wrestling when you first did it?
And it was just hard, you know, because I was comfortable in my back because of grappling and jiu-jitsu. So sometimes I would get in some positions and I'll be like, okay, I'll go to my back and try to let you scoot out, shrimp out, and get another position. But I mean, sometimes I would just get stuck, you know. So it was just a little. It was hard to do the transition from jiu-jitsu to.
Do you remember your high school wrestling coaches?
Yeah, it was Josh Lopez, and like Doug Gordon.
Yeah, right on. And I think before that, I think it was Tirso Lara and, oh my God, I can't remember his name. Coach Morgan.
Yeah,
the older man.
I didn't really get coached by him that much. I didn't have the grades. I think he only wrestled like half the season.
Okay, that's right. Okay, because I remember one time Tirso kept saying, he's like, why does he keep going to his back? I go, he's a jiu-jitsu guy. You know what I mean? He doesn't know yet. He's going to get it, you know? He's like, oh, I forgot, you know?
I remember Morgan used to get so pissed at me. He would be like, man, like, stop being an MMA fighter. MMA fighters are pussies. You don't go to your back. And I was like, I mean, that's the first thing I learned, is like, recover your guard and try to get up.
Exactly. Yeah, I remember you wrestling in high school, and one thing that always surprised me was like how strong you were. You know what I mean? And I was like, man, if he gets these fundamentals down, I'm like, holy smoke, they're not gonna stop him because you were that strong, you know. And I was watching some of your videos, a couple of your combate fights, and I think it was your title fight. Man, I don't think you missed a takedown.
Which one?
The first one or second one? I think it was your second one. It might have been.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think when you defended, and I think it was the first one as well. I think I watched both of those just recently.
Yeah, because when I won the belt, I did like 8 takedowns, I think, in the fight, and it was like lifting him up, running him to the other corner.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I was trying to count, because I was like, well, how many takedowns was that? You know, and I don't think you missed one, man. You know, your takedown is, I mean, sharp in that fight, sharp. I was like, wow, you know.
I mean, I feel like those takedowns, I learned those from you. That's like wrestling from the cage. Yeah. Because I mean, it's a different thing to wrestle like regular wrestling and wrestling like with punches and stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, all my setups, I feel like you really helped me a lot with those, and just like putting people against the cage, just putting all my weight on them, shoulder on them.
Yeah, because your top game is pretty good, man. You know how to stay heavy and everything, and they struggle to get you off. That's what I noticed, that once you're on top, it's going to be a struggle, man. Especially if your cardio is good and everything. It's like, man, it's going to be a long day for those, for those guys, man. You know. So, how'd you like Combate when you fought there?
I mean, I started from the bottom there, like literally like from the bottom.
I think you had like 7 or 8 fights or something like that.
Yeah, right? 8 fights with Combate. But to get into Combate, I had to go they had like an open trial in Pasadena, California.
Yeah.
And one of my friends, he told me like, hey, let's go to the trials. I was like, nah, I don't want to go. And he was like, why? Because I told him I just flew to Argentina for the Ultimate Fighter Latin America. I did everything good. I submitted 2 guys.
Yeah.
And they didn't even interview me. I told them, I was like, it's a waste of time. They already had people pick. The people they got on the show, they didn't even go to Argentina, so they hadn't picked. They just had to do that thing, just the trials like for show. So I was pretty upset about that, and he was like, no, let's go. So I want to go, and so I was like, okay, let's go. So I went to the Combate America trials, and out of 500 people, I got selected. I was the only one to sign.
Really?
Yes, and then I debuted in Mexico City. And
at that time, who were you training with when you went to go to Argentina for that tryout?
I was training with Alex Garcia.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I was training at Yuma United.
Another OG from the Valley, man. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. You know, I didn't know till up to a few years ago that he had fought Nate Diaz.
Yeah, that's how far. That was Nate Diaz's first fight.
First fight, man. Yeah, so that's way back, man. His first fight. Yeah. Shout out to Alex Garcia, man. He's a good dude too. Yeah. Nice guy, man. You know.
I started training with him like after my 4th fight. I got to a point with Yuling. He told me, he came and talked to me. He sat down with me. He was like, you know what, Rafa? I gave you everything. He's like, you gotta move on.
Yeah.
Like, he told me I can't train you anymore. And I mean, at the beginning I didn't get it. I was pretty sad, and then I just started thinking about it. He was like, man, like some coaches, they just want to keep you there with them, and they just want to
And how honest was that?
That was super honest.
That was super honest.
And
you know,
and he told me you gotta look for somebody and he knew Alex.
Yeah.
And he told me, well, go check it out with Alex, and I went with Yuma United, and that was like my second house, Yuma United.
Yeah.
Training with Alex, Calvin, Chess Ferrar, Edgar Garcia, and all those guys. They helped me to a certain point. And
a bunch of animals right there. Those guys are beasts, man.
Coach Brian Bauman, he helped me a lot with my leg locks, submissions.
Yeah.
And they got to the same point. And he told me, Alex did the same thing to me. He sat me down one day. He told me, like, Rafa, that's it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
Right.
And that's when I met Cub Swanson.
And it's funny how things worked out, right? You just went from one step to another. You made you paid your dues here. You got recognized. You got the attention of Cub. And then what happened after that?
Well, right now I'm training with Justin Gaethje in Colorado. I helped him for the Khabib fight.
Yeah,
he flew me out there. I've never met him before. He just came and picked me up at the airport, and never met him, never talked to him, never texted him.
Yeah.
First time I ever texted him was in Colorado.
Is that right? Just like that.
And we just became really good friends. I was there for a week, helped him out, and he liked training with me. And and I like training over there, and I just decided to do my camp over there. There's a lot of people on my weight class that I could spar, and Cub was all for it. He supported me. He told me, yeah, like I think that's a good look for you.
Yeah. Wow, dude, that's awesome. So you're getting top tier training now, man.
Yeah.
And that's what it takes, man. That's some people don't realize, like, you know, they want to stay loyal here to the Valley, and you know, more power to them. You know what I mean? You know, here in Mexicali as well. You know, you rep Mexicali, you rep the Valley. You know what I mean? I think that's why everybody loves you. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, you were grown here. You know what I mean? And everybody knows you, and everybody knows that you don't forget where you come from. You know, and you made those steps, those necessary steps to get you to that next level. You know, and that's not easy to do. You know, because you got family, you got your parents. You know what I mean? And the fact that you got that support, you know, to make those steps, you know, real. That's awesome, dude. Because that's rare. It doesn't, you know, people think that, oh no, you know, it's
that was the hardest part. I mean, I remember for my first fight in Combate, I had to go for 3 weeks. I was like, I'll go for 3 weeks to Mexico City. I've never been to Mexico City. I lived there for 3 weeks with Alex Garcia. And I mean, just being away from my family and everything. I wasn't married back then. My wife was still my girlfriend back then. Yeah. And it was just like so hard, you know, like not seeing them, but it was all just a sacrifice, you know. I always tell everybody the hardest thing is just leaving home, you know, because I mean, I love the Valley. I love my home, my city. I love my hometown. But I mean, sometimes you just gotta. Wow. You got to walk away for a little bit, you know.
Have to.
But I never forget where I came from. I mean, when I'm here, I'm always trying to, like, I'll go to wrestling and try to help out as much as I can. I'm always trying to go out there to Morales Jiu-Jitsu, like, just to, like, teach or, like, help out, you know, as much as I can. Yeah. But, I mean, that's something I had to do. I leave my family, I leave my daughter, I leave my son. I miss sometimes, like, right now I'm going to leave for 5 weeks. Yeah. And it's hard, but it's something I have to do.
Yeah, but I'm sure they understand, you know what I mean? Yeah. Hey, daddy's got to go to work. You know? How old's your daughter?
She's about to turn 2.
2? And your son?
1. He's about to turn 1 in August.
Oh, yeah?
He's almost 1.
No kidding? Does he like to wrestle?
Oh, man, he's super rough. They're both super rough. But, like, Rafa, he's just, like, I'll hold him. He'll, like, headbutt me, and then he'll, like, start, like, trying to hit me. Yeah. That's all he does.
Does he watch his dad on the videos?
My daughter now, she's the one that gets excited. She'll either, like, when Bruce Buffer announced me, she'll be like, Rafa, Garcia, and she'll start jumping and doing everything I do on TV. Yeah. And she'll start mimicking me, and it's pretty funny.
And how motivating is that to you?
It's very motivating. I mean, I know it's hard for them too because they see me and they're just every time they see me, they just want to be with me. I mean, I know they miss me. Yeah. But I also know that, I mean, this career it's not a long career, you know.
It's not, brother.
It's a very short career, so I got to get the most out of it.
Exactly, bro. Exactly, and that's what sometimes, you know, people don't understand. At the end of the day, it is a business. You know what I'm saying? And you got to do what's good for you and your family, and whatever route you need to take that route. Yeah. Take that route, dude, and put the food on the table, put the money in the bank, because like you said, you know, it ain't gonna last forever. You know, how old are you now?
27.
27. That's right. So you're the same age as Danny, huh? Yeah. Yeah, same age. That's what I was telling my son right now. You know, and I was telling him, he wrestled with Danny. He was on the same wrestling team and everything. And I go, I believe they're the same age too. You know, because Danny's 27. Yeah. You know, so you're 27 years old, and man, you're not even close to your prime yet. You're not, man, and you keep getting better, dude. That's good, man. So what's a typical training camp for you? Like your last fight.
Like my last fight. So I did 2 months over there in Colorado. Mm-hmm. Train Mondays and Wednesdays is kind of the same day. I go in.
Who are you with over there?
With Justin Gaethje, Team Elevation.
Elevation, right? Okay.
Elevation. So I'll go there and I go do mitts with Coach Justin Holton. Yeah. He's my Muay Thai coach, and then after that I go wrestle. Then do conditioning, and Monday and Wednesday is the same day, and then Tuesday we spar. Thursday we wrestle. It's just like pure wrestling, like MMA wrestling with Justin Gaethje at Onyx. Yeah. And then Friday we spar again, and I mean that's practically what we do all week, and not counting off like the 5 miles I run every day.
You guys spar with headgear and all that?
Well,
sometimes.
not really. I mean, we should. Yeah. We should prevent cuts and stuff like that, because I mean the headgear is really like, feel like it's really for your partner, you know, so they won't hurt your hands. Like when I've been to the boxing gym, because I train a lot with over there in India with Joel Diaz and Antonio Diaz, and they would tell me like, when people box you, like professional boxers try to box you, they want you to wear the headgear so that way they don't mess up their hands, because the headgear is not for you, it's for them.
Yeah, you see, and that's kind of the weird thing, because I was looking at some stuff about headgear, pros and cons, and you know, I guess depending on how hard you're going, you know, sometimes headgear is not a good idea, which sounds messed up to say, right? You know, because you think like, well, what are you talking about? You don't want to get a concussion. But, you know, sometimes it might be worse, you know, wearing that headgear. You know, like I said, there's an argument there that goes back and forth, you know. Should you use it? Should you not? You know, but I guess it just depends also on your partner, you know, like, you know, who you're with, and, you know, like, are they going to remain professional, or do they want to go in there and just take your head off, you know? That's the other thing you got to do. You got to be careful. I'm sure, you got to be careful who your partners are.
I mean, I think everybody knows, like, certain people, like, who that guy goes too hard, like, they're gym champions, that's what we call them, you know? There's a lot of people that they're, like, really good in the gym, but when they go out to perform in the cage or, like, in front of people, they don't do as good, but, and that's the people you got to be careful, because they have a lot of pride in the gym. And with me, I mean, I leave that outside. You know what? Every time I spar, I try to work I'm working with my other coaches. You know, I'll work on some technique with my coach, and I'll try to bring that into sparring and work on it and perfect it. And that way, I could do it when I'm fighting. Because I mean, you could be. I mean, I feel like there's no reason for me to be really tough, like to go like super hard in sparring. I mean, I'll go hard. But I mean, I won't try like to hurt my partners or anything. I mean, I could get hurt too. I mean, I don't get paid to spar. I get paid to fight. I mean,
it's not like our days back in Team United back in the day. Because we were just out there just trying to hang and bang. You know what I mean? You know, that's a good sense of mind that you guys got. You know, and when you're in training camp, it's a private camp, right? It's not like some guy who's kind of a regular in the gym comes in and just to join in. Do you guys keep it tight, or
no? It's pretty private. So I mean, you got to like ask for permission, kind of like to step in the cage and to go sparring with people, because I mean, you're going against like a lot of UFC fighters, a lot of really good people from other, not only the UFC but Bellator, PFL, from Combate. So everybody goes pretty hard, you know. So I mean, they're not going to take this liability too, you know.
No, for sure. So now are you strictly training full time? That's your day job now?
Yeah, that's my job. It's been my job since I started fighting for Combate.
For Combate, okay. And who'd you used to work for before?
I used to work for Keith Williams.
Okay.
Williams in Holtville. With Pat Cooley, he actually helped me a lot, because I remember when I got signed with Combate. I mean, I thought it was a big opportunity. They showed me like a certain amount of money. I was getting paid $600 in Mexicali just to show and fight.
Well, don't say that too loud, because people in Mexicali are going to hear that. They're like, how is he getting paid that much? Because $600 in Mexicali, that's a lot of money. You know what I mean? And I know some of those fighters, they don't make that.
I mean, I was excited when I got paid that. $600. I was like, man, I've been fighting amateur. I've been getting paid $600 to get in a fight with. That's pretty cool. But I was making more money selling tickets when I was used to fight. Selling shirts and stuff like that. But I mean, I remember I texted my boss, and I was like, man, I need 3 weeks off, and he hated fighting. Like I remember he would tell me like, but not in a bad week. He just wanted it like the best for me, you know, because he really cared about me. Like he had other plans for me. And I remember I texted him, and I was like, hey Pat, you know what? I need 3 weeks off. And he was like, why? I mean, I think it was a fight. I told him a month. And he was like, why? And I was like, so I just got picked up by this big company. I think it's a big opportunity. And I mean, I'm 21, and I need to do this. I told him, if you could give me those 4 weeks, it'd be awesome. You don't. I mean, I'm not asking like to pay me vacation or anything. I just want like those 4 weeks to keep my job. And if you can, that'd be awesome. If you can't, I mean, I'm gonna have to quit. And he told me, give me 3 days. And he came back to me. He was like, you know what? He told me, so you're climbing up the rankings? And I was like, yeah, I'm getting there. And he was just like, okay, your new job is gonna be to fight. And I was like, what? He was like, yep, that's gonna be your new job. He told me, I'm gonna pay you to keep training and keep fighting. You're gonna keep everything, your insurance, everything.
Wow.
So when he did that for me, I was like, couldn't believe it. So I'm like, man, I think he sees something in me. I'm doing something good, you know? Cause
yeah.
I was being like, I think he knew. I mean, he heard it from people that I would like wake up like at 3 a.m, go do conditioning, do conditioning. Then I would go to work from 8 to 5, and then I would drive to Yuma and come back like at 10. And by the time I drive back, I would be like 11. Wow. So I mean, and I would do that every single day. And I think he would see that, and I mean, I think he's like, man, this kid's committed.
He probably also realized like your work ethic, you know, because you work for him, and he probably looked at you and said, you know what, this dude's a real hard worker, and if he works that hard for me, you know what I mean, to be a good employee, imagine what he's gonna do in a combat sport. Yeah. You know what I mean? He probably realized it, and like you said, he saw something in you, and he's like, I'm gonna help him. You know what I mean? And you know, I want to see him succeed. And man, shout out to that guy.
Yeah, he sponsored me that way, and he helped me out a lot. And I mean, he's part of the reason I was able to just train and just focus on that. And I mean, I was doing really good because of that.
Wow, dude. And so when you take off, you know, and you go to your training camps and all that, you know, how do you maintain your diet and all that? You know, because I'm sure you gotta really watch, because you know, obviously you're not at home, you're not getting that home cooking and stuff like that. You're good cooking from your wife, right? So how do you have to change your diet?
Well, I mean, I kind of do like a carnivore diet, so I just like eat like strictly just meat. And I mean, I don't feel like before I used to get like really heavy. You remember I used to walk like around 195 and then try to cut down to 155. So it started getting too hard, and I remember Cub told me one time, he came up to me, he was like, dude, like, you gotta focus on training, not about making weight. It's fight camp, not fat camp. He told me that, so I was like, man, I should probably. So right now I walk a little bit lower on my weight, try to maintain my weight a little bit better. I walk around like 177, 180. So I mean, it's not hard for me to make weight, but I mean, I do have to watch out what I eat.
That's about where you're at right now, about 170?
177, 180.
Right on. Okay, Rogan's a big believer in that carnivore diet, you know what I mean? Ever since he mentioned it on his podcast, a lot of people started doing it, and, you know, they've been having some good results. You know?
I like it a lot. I mean, I feel like I have a lot of energy, and I mean, I also do a lot of fasting, and that helps a lot for me. Yeah,
and as far as like your liquid intake, what do you, besides water, what are you drinking? Are you drinking like kombucha or anything like that?
I'll drink kombucha every now and then, but not really. Like for my water, I do a lot of electrolytes, those. They're called elements.
Okay.
And I like those a lot. It has like no sugar or anything. It's just salt and keeps you hydrated, and amino acids.
So
that's about everything I take.
Wow. So before your fights, say, you know, in the UFC, you know, like, you know, they always talk about, you know, USADA and all that, you know, and you hear the horror stories from other fighters and stuff. It's like, man, they tested me like 10 times this week, and you know, I mean, I'm exaggerating, but you know, they say that, you know, they show up 4 a.m, banging on the door. Have you had to experience anything like that?
Oh, they came in at 5 a.m. a bunch of times.
Did they really?
Yeah, I'll be like, I remember I'll be like in bed just sleeping, and my wife came with me to Colorado like for the first 2 months of my last camp.
Yeah.
And we were like sleeping. They just come and bang your door pretty hard, you know.
Really?
they don't call you. They'll bang your door a bunch of times, and then they'll call you.
Wow.
And I'm like, if you don't answer the door, and my wife's like, who's knocking? Because we don't know nobody in Colorado. So you're like, we got no visitors. So I'm like, I don't know who's knocking at 5 a.m. So I just go in there, like, I'm all sleepy in my underwear, like. And this guy's like, it's USADA. And I'm like,
do they flash an ID or badge or anything to identify? Do they flash a badge or ID?
Yeah, they had the uniforms and everything that says USADA, and I don't know why I'm always the first one they test.
Really?
And they told me, I have like 3 more fighters. I'm like, why did you come here for me last?
Yeah.
Like, 5 a.m, got kids, just woke them up.
Yeah, it's like, why don't you wait till like 8 or 9? Why don't you wait till after breakfast?
Yeah. So they just come in, and it's pretty awkward because they're walking with you to the restroom, and you pull your thing out and you start peeing, and they'll be like kind of watching you pee because they want to see that it's not a fake one, it's a real thing.
Just swing it at them. You know, enjoy the show.
So it's a little awkward.
Yeah. Wow. So you've experienced all that.
Yeah.
Man. Dang. So
they actually came here to the valley. They came to my dad's ranch, and they were like knocking on my. I remember I was with my horse, and we were fixing something on my horse, me and my dad.
Yeah.
And they were at my wife's parents' house, and I was just like, "There's nobody there," and they were like, "Where's your Sada? We're looking for Rafa." I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'll be right there right now." I just started running out there.
Should have had somebody yell, "We don't sell meat here."
Yeah.
I said, "No, it's not the USDA. It's all the same." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow, that's funny. So you enjoy riding horses?
Yeah, I love riding horses.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of you on the horse. I was like, "Oh, all right. I wonder what." So I didn't know you guys had horses at the ranch. Wow.
We have
awesome.
one horse. That's my horse.
That's your horse? Yeah. Does he miss you when you're not there?
I mean,
Can you tell?
No, my dad he's just kind of like he doesn't really ride him anymore that lot, but I mean, because it's too hot right now.
Yeah.
But he'll like kind of like walk him around a little bit, and he takes care of him. He loves the horses too, so.
Wow.
And my daughter, she loves it.
Oh, I bet, right? Yeah, I've never ridden a horse, man. I've always wanted to.
I've ridden a horse. I've ridden a bull twice.
You rode a bull?
Yeah, twice.
Why?
I don't know. That was.
You're a UFC fighter.
Yeah,
Isn't that enough?
I remember they invited me like to this jaripeo over there in Santa Barbara, and I was with my manager. My old manager, he just passed away last year, and I remember I was there, and there was a bunch of like those rodeo guys. He were like, "You won't ride." I was like, "Yes, I would." And they started like trying to poke me, and my manager was like, "No, he's not gonna ride it. He'll take a picture next to the bull, but he won't ride it."
Oh.
And the guys talked Spanish. I was just like, I got on the bull, and the cage was closed and everything. So my manager wanted to take a picture of me on the bull, and I told him in Spanish, "Open the cage." And they were like, "Oh yeah," I'm like, "Yeah, open the cage." And my manager was like, "What did you tell him?" He doesn't speak English.
Yeah.
They opened the cage, and he was like, "No!" He started panicking. "Don't ever do that again." So they're trying to like get me off the bull right away, and I remember I just grabbed the fence and just pulled up myself out.
Wow, that's good. Well, good. You showed him. Yeah, you showed him. Wow, damn. So what's next for you, Rafa? You know, after you take off from the valley from here, what are you gonna go do?
Well, right now we're just training, and I mean we're just waiting to hear news. I just got re-signed with the UFC for my last fight.
Awesome.
It was pretty amazing because I mean I haven't told anybody a lot, but I had an injury in my last fight, like a pretty serious injury on my right eye.
Really?
I had a torn patella, and I didn't get cleared till Monday, the week of the fight. So I didn't train for 2 weeks.
No kidding.
Yeah, so it was pretty tough. So I mean, I was thinking about pulling out of my fight, and that was my last fight in my contract.
Right. So you had to make that decision, huh?
Yeah, so I had to go in there and just like press the boss,
Yeah.
So I didn't train for 2 weeks, and they told me you had torn patella. They told me they did like a laser surgery on my eye, and they told me you can't lift anything for over 20 pounds for 2 weeks.
Wow.
And they told me, "Oh well, but we'll push it 10 days. We'll check you. We'll push it 10 days, and we'll check you. That way you can leave Monday. We can fight. If everything's good, we'll clear you and you can fight."
And where was the fight at?
In Vegas.
In Vegas, and so I take it you didn't fly.
No,
you drove.
Yeah. So I came one Monday to the doctor, and Cub was like, "Man, we were all like super stressed out."
Yeah.
Because it's my last fight in my contract. Right. I mean, I don't do good, I get fired.
Yeah.
And I went in there and he cleared me, and I was in Vegas. I told everybody I've never been scared before a fight. I mean, for this one I was pretty nervous, pretty scared because I mean I was going against this guy Jesse Bronson. He fought Kevin Lee. He fought like Trinaldo, Francisco Trinaldo, and nobody could have pulled him down. Yeah. I mean, Kevin Lee is a D1 wrestler. I'm not a D1 wrestler.
This kid was no joke. For sure.
He was really good, and I remember before walking out there, I was like so nervous, and I was just like, man, you just gotta go handle business. I remember I said a prayer and just walked out there and did my thing,
Yeah.
Felt like I dominated him and just like didn't care about my eye.
No, you did. You I mean, you had to. You had to go do. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So after I won, because I gave the guy supposedly an illegal knee, I didn't think it was legal.
No, I saw that fight. Yeah, I saw that fight.
And Dana came and they told me that Dana never does that. So like 3 security guys told me, "Hey, Dana wants to talk to you." I was like, "Oh man, I'm gonna get in trouble because I jump off the cage." That's the first thing they tell you: don't jump out the cage. And then they walked me out there, and Dana was sitting there right there with Sean, and he told me like, "Hey, I'm really impressed with you. He told me, really, really impressed with you. We're going to be talking this week. And he told me, what do you need? Whatever you need, just let me know. So I was like, just in case he was going to fight next week, Oliveira, I was like, I need tickets for the fight.
Yeah.
And he told me, you got him. Where do you want? And he told me he got me like front seat tickets and everything. It was
Is
pretty
that
cool.
Right?
Yeah, he gave me a bonus after my fight and everything.
Nice.
So it was pretty awesome. He told me like in the next week he called Cub Swanson, my manager right now, and he called Cub and we signed the deal.
Wow, dude. Yeah, I think I saw pictures. I think I saw some pictures of you meeting with him. It was just like a quick picture that was posted somewhere, and I was like, look at Rafa.
Yeah,
you
that
know
was
what I mean?
awesome because Cub's been with the UFC. He's a Hall of Famer. He's about to get inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Well deserved too.
Yeah, and he told me he's never done that. Never seen him do that. Like, walk somebody back to his office.
Wow.
I didn't even know he was there, like, because we were fighting the Epics. I didn't know he was there, and they walked me all the way to his office. And it's pretty awesome. He told me that's the way to come back after.
Absolutely,
like that.
absolutely. Because let's be honest. I mean, you're already in the whole 2 fights. In the UFC. And you're new. You're new to the company.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they're watching. All eyes are on you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, hey, is he gonna pull this off or not? And you did it, man. You did it with flying colors, and I was so happy for you, dude.
Yeah.
I was telling my wife, I go, look at Rafa, he's doing it. Look at this kid.
It was hard, just everything, like having an eye injury, like going to. I don't know, like it was a lot of mental stuff, just going in there with knowing that you didn't train for 2 weeks. That was really hard because I told him, like, I've never done that. He's like, what can you learn in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
There's nothing you can learn in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, you know how to fight already.
Yeah.
It's just all about keeping yourself sharp.
Yeah.
Keeping your movement, keeping your cardio up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Keeping your weight down. It's all, basic stuff at that point. You know what I mean? So he's right. What are you going to do in 2 weeks?
Yeah, so I just used those 2 weeks as a recovery weekend. I went in there and did my thing, and everything came out good.
You never know, Rafa. I mean, I believe that everything happens for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that you had in your eye, it was a reason for that, so you could recover, so you could be ready. You know what I mean? Todo pasa por algo. You know what I'm saying? And maybe it was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? I mean, wow, dude, that's awesome. So you don't know when your next fight's gonna be?
No, not yet. Cub is talking to them, and I told them I wanted to fight in August.
Okay.
So most likely I'm gonna fight in August.
That's gonna be hot, man.
Yeah. I want to do the pay-per-view or just a fight with the crowd. I haven't fought with the crowd since my last fight in Combate.
Yeah, no, you're gonna get there, brother. You're gonna get there, man.
They had me in the Apex for so long, so I'm just like, I want to get out of the hurt.
So how many people go in the Apex? What's it like? Is it like how many people you think fit in there?
Not a lot. Probably this is like a high number. Probably like 200 people.
Really?
And tickets are like $2,000.
What?
Yeah.
Holy smoke.
Yeah, because they usually just bring like people like, I don't know, like senators from other countries, like really important, like international people, just to come watch the fight.
So it's almost like
it's pretty private.
They probably take an advantage of because it's small.
No, it's big.
Oh, is it big?
It could, like a lot of people could fit there, but it's.
Oh, so they limit it to about 2. Okay, well, yeah, that's what I was gonna get at. It's almost like an exclusive private, event for certain people out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. I could see why those tickets would be so much.
Yeah, I mean, they're super expensive.
Wow.
I mean, I told my wife, like, I'll be there the next day.
Yeah. So you're gonna go back to Colorado, and you're gonna be there for how long? 5 weeks, you said?
Yeah, I'm gonna be there for 5 weeks.
Wow.
Get some training in and just be ready, for the call.
You drive out there? You fly out there?
No, I fly out there.
Yeah,
I've drove up a few times, but I have a condo out there, and my car over there already is too far.
Right. Okay, is the family going to be over there too? Or?
No, not right now. My wife is going back to school.
Okay.
She's in LVN, and so she's going to finish the RN program.
She's in LVN?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
She's going to do the whole RN thing.
Nice. That's good, man. Yeah. So, she got a good head on her shoulders, very intelligent.
She's really smart.
Yeah. Oh, that's good, man. That's awesome. That kind of helps out a little bit too, because I mean, you know that, you know, she's doing well herself. So, you know, like, you know, the kids, you know, no van a querer para nada. They're not going to need anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mom got it, you know,
Yeah.
while dad's at work. You know, so that's good, man.
Yeah.
You know, you got a good formula going then, you know, so things are going your way, brother.
Yeah.
You know, you ever feel discouraged about, you know, like when you take off, like, damn, you know, what am I going to do next if this doesn't work out or anything like that?
I mean,
It's not even in your head right now.
I mean, I never think about that. I mean,
Yeah.
Because I try to. My old manager used to say, he's like, I always stay positive, but so I mean, I'm always trying to stay like that. But I mean, I know this career is only so long.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of things can happen in my career. It's like nothing's guaranteed in this career. It's a gamble.
Yeah. And that's an awesome thing to say, how you're saying it right now.
Yeah.
This is your career.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like before, you were just trying to get out there, you know, make a name for yourself, and now you got a career in this.
Yeah.
You know?
And I mean, I feel like, I mean, I'm not the type of person it's like going to go spending money. I mean, I save my stuff. I mean, I'm trying to build something, you know, for my family.
Yeah.
So, cause
and at 27 years old, not a lot of people think that way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're not looking ahead towards the future.
Yeah.
You know, and I think a lot of that comes from your upbringing. Can you talk right now? You know, attributed to your mom and dad. You know how they raised you, and you know, I'm sure they showed you what it's like to work hard and everything.
Yeah. I mean, the thing was, my dad is always telling me, like, anything you do, you got to be the best, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to half-ass something, like, don't even do it.
Don't even do it.
Yeah, I mean, I've always told everybody, I mean, I never went to a party, never had time for anything like that. Because before doing MMA, I was playing soccer. And my dad would take me, like, to soccer school, like, to learn how to play soccer. So he wanted me to be a professional soccer player. Then he brought me to MMA, and then he was, like, always trying to look for places for me to train. Like, he'd be like, what if I send you to New Mexico, to Jacksonville, to go train out there? And I was like, that'd be awesome. He was always, like, looking for something for me to do.
Yeah.
When I started doing MMA, he didn't just see us like, oh, he's doing a sport. He said, no, that's going to be his career. Like, he's going to be professional. So, I mean, I never drank, never smoked, never done nothing like that. Never had a chance to party. Only had one girlfriend, my wife.
Yeah.
We've been together since we were 14. So, I mean, I feel like I've always been in a straight line, just like super focused on my things.
Wow, Rafa, you know what? You're a rare person, dude. You know, for real, brother. You're very rare in that way because, you know, I mean, you know, the way times have changed, you know, since, you know, me growing up, and you're the way your parents brought you up, you know, they kept you the old school way, the values and everything. Like, man, dude, like, shout out to your parents, man, for bringing up such a good young man, dude. That's fucking awesome, dude. Awesome. You know, I wish your dad was here, man. I'd give a big ass hug.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, good job. And I remember he'd always be at your fights, bro. He always taking you to training sessions and all that. I see him in your corner right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's been to all my professional fights. Well, every single fight. It's like when I fought Nathan Levy, I mean, he wasn't on my corner because Cub, Gaethje, and my Muay Thai coach, they cornered me. They were only allowed you to come bring 3 people, but we were able to bring him into the Apex. Like, somehow Gaethje pulled it off, and
I seen him.
So Gaethje, like, if you can, please, and he's like, yeah, I'll talk to somebody, and he talked to somebody, got him a ticket, and it was pretty awesome. I mean, he was yelling at me, telling me combos. Yeah. Like, in my last fight, I remember my dad, he was like, there was a lot of things he was yelling, I could hear him, and I was just like pulling out those combos he was yelling.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he's never fought or he's never, like, did any MMA training, but he's been in the gym his whole life with me. Yeah. So he's learning just by sitting down, and he's pretty smart.
You'd be surprised what some guys have a knack for seeing certain things. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And he's looking at those little things, and he's picking up on, you know what I mean? You know, no, man, he could have been a good coach, you know, if he decided to, you know, have gone that route, you know what I mean? Yeah. You know, I mean, obviously he's coaching you in that way, you know, because he's picking up the little details and he's shouting them out.
The thing with him is he's super honest. Like, he's not gonna sugarcoat anything for me. Yeah. Like, he'll tell me like, hey, you're messing up in this part. Like, you're not doing this right. Mm-hmm. Like, when I fought my first few fights, you know, he came and told me like you're just trying to go in there and bang with somebody. Like, come on, like, you're better than that. Like, what are you trying to do just to impress? The thing, I mean, you got to win. It's about winning. It's not about trying to impress a lot of people, you know? I mean, that's going to come, like, with experience. And Cub came and told me that too, that my first 2 fights I went in there. My first fight I took in a 3-day notice.
Wow.
I cut 22 pounds in 2 days.
In 2 days?
Yes, it was horrible.
Holy smoke.
And I fought a top 15 guy.
No
yeah.
shit.
And I won a decision. I won the first round, and then I gassed out the second and third, but I finished the fight.
Wow.
And I mean, Cub came and told me, like, you know what, like, you got to think that everybody that gets here in the UFC, everybody's game. Everybody's been through a war. Everybody's been experienced. Everybody's tough. You got to be smart. When you get to this level, you got to be smart. You got to learn how to move, not get hit.
Yeah.
Because every little punch, even if it doesn't hurt, it's going to be accumulating, and you're going to feel it through the end of the fight. And after my second loss in the UFC, I was just like, man, like, did that change? I'm like, I'm not here to be tough. I'm here to win fights and be a world champ, because that's my goal, be a world champ.
Yeah.
And I made the adjustment. I think it's been showing after that. I haven't been getting hit that much. I mean, I've been dominating because my thing is the ground. I've been trying to stand up and bang my first 2 fights, just trying to get that 50K bonus. But that Cub told me that's gonna come. Like,
it will.
That's gonna come, you know. And I mean, my last fight I did pretty good, and I impressed the boss. He gave me my bonus, and just submitting somebody, so it was pretty awesome.
I know that in your first fight, brother, I was like I go, Rafa, take him to the ground, bro. Do your thing. Don't that other crap's gonna come. I'm over here yelling and stuff like a lunatic. Like, my family's looking at me like, what are you doing? I go, no, you don't understand. He's better than this. I go, I know he's better. He gets him down. That's it. That fool's done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was like,
that's one thing that Cubs always tell me. Like, he told me, like, I believe those 2 losses, like, you would have won those 2 fights like any other day. It was just like the first one you gassed out. The second one, I got my nose broken. I mean, I couldn't breathe. I remember they were giving me water in there. I was just like I couldn't breathe, man. And I told the other corners from the UFC, I'm like, stop giving me water. Stop trying to make me drink water, because I can't breathe. Yeah. And I mean, I finished the fight like that. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, I knew it was a close fight, but I thought I won that.
Yeah, that no, for sure. So with those losses, with the 2 losses and everything, I mean, sometimes you got to be able to turn it into a positive, you know. And what do you think you learned from the 2 losses? What did you take from that to turn it into a positive for yourself?
Well, I mean, I sat down with my coaches and my dad, and I was just I was just honest with myself. I mean, because I could have been like making excuses. Oh, I lost because I took the fight in 3-day notice. I lost because I got my nose broken. I could have made all those excuses. I was like, no, they broke my nose because I wasn't moving my head.
You're right.
I got tired because I went in there and I had an adrenaline dump, and I was trying to rip this guy's head off because I hurt him and put him bad in the first round. I won the first round, but by the second round, I was like, oh shoot, man. Yeah. I'm a little tired, So it's about pacing. So I started talking to Cub and my dad, and I'm like, got to move more, like not get hit, because getting hit gets you tired. It does damage to you. Yeah. So I was like, got to move more. I got to be smarter, not get hit, take them to the ground. That's my thing, the ground. I mean, make people like so tired in the ground that once they get up, I'm going to be able to knock them out because they're so tired.
Because they're so tired. They're not thinking straight. They're fatigued and everything. And then that's when you can let the hands go. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's good, man. That's good that you're learning from that, dude. Yeah. And I knew it. I knew you were going to, because you're smart. I knew you were going to learn from it, And then you got a good crew behind you. And I knew they were going to let you know what you did wrong. Yeah. You know what I mean? But yeah, that third fight, I was like, oh man, he's got to do it, man. This is it.
Yeah. And it was a hard fight because I was going against an undefeated prospect.
Yeah,
the guy was from Israel. He just wanted to contend this series, and they were like trying to pump him. Like, I felt like I was a stepping stone for him. And I mean, I understood. I mean, I knew that I was a win or I'm getting kicked out of the UFC. Yeah. And my fourth fight, that was the same thing, because I mean, having just one win in the UFC, and it's nothing, Right. So I knew I had to not only win my last fight in my contract, but had to win like an impressive and make the boss happy. Yeah. And so obviously he was happy. They extended your contract. So how many fights you got in the UFC? I have a 5-fight deal.
Yeah, 5-fight deal. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. That's good, dude. Man, dude, I'm so happy for you, bro. Yeah. I'm so happy because I tell people all the time, here in the Imperial Valley, Mexicali, there's so much talent here. You know what I mean? Whether it's in fighting, combat sports, softball, baseball, football. I'm a football guy. You know what I mean? Because my boys and stuff. and you know, it's like you gotta get out of here, out of the valley. And then I know it sounds weird to say that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but you do. You got to be real with yourself, and if you really want to make it, you got to get out of the valley. You know, you got to somehow get some exposure. You know what I'm saying?
It's a pride thing, you know.
Yeah.
It's a pride thing because sometimes you're just like, no, I don't have to. Like, I'm loyal. I mean, it's not about that. You know, it's about getting better.
Yeah.
Because I mean, and just having honest coaches, like I feel like I probably would have been a little bit the same way if Billy wouldn't tell me like, I need you to move on, or Alex, I need you to move on, and you're done here. Like you learned everything.
Yeah.
Like you got to go train with other coaches, other training partners that are the same level as you.
Yeah.
And just keep evolving, you know.
Yeah, because you know, basically, it's like you went to school, you graduated, you went to the next level, you graduated from there. Now you're going on to the university. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You got to kind of look at it in that way. You know what I mean? You put in your time and you graduate and you got to move on.
Yeah.
You know,
like when after Alex, I mean, I didn't have nothing, nowhere to go. Like I had like no idea where to go. So Alex told me this like after, because I remember I fought in Mexico City, and that's where I met Cub. His brother was the main event, and my dad was talking about. He was like, "Yeah, my son like." We live pretty close to Coachella. Yeah. And he didn't tell him how close, because we're in the, it's like a 2-hour drive. Yeah. And he was like, is it cool if we go straight with there one day? And he's like, yeah, go come, bring, you could come. And he was like super cool. And he told me before that I didn't think you were going to come. He told me that. And I just showed up one day. I talked to Alex about that. Yeah. And he told me that he was done with me. And I went over there and he was like, yep, keep coming. Then he started taking me to Orange County with him. Yeah. I did a camp with him in New Mexico when he fought Brian Ortega, and we just became really good friends.
So the first time you went to go train with him, did they do like an evaluation on you? You know, like, all right, let me see you hit the bag, let me see you hit the mid.
No, he was just there like helping me. He was just like, okay, like let me see, like he started telling me to move with him, and he told me, okay, throw this combo. So I did this combo. He was like, okay, do it this way, and then he liked that I learned, and because I told him I did a 2-hour drive, and then I was doing that every single day. I was like, because I was still working for a little bit. Yeah. And I would work. I would wake up in the morning, do conditioning, work from 8 to 5, and then drive to Coachella, and then drive back. Yeah. And I mean, he would see that, and he would see that I was being really committed, and I mean, he liked that a lot about me. Like me be driving. I mean, just me going over. Like right now, like for me to train with him, I had to drive to Orange County. That's a 3-hour drive. Wow. And he really appreciated that about me.
Yeah, because he saw that you're willing to put in, you know, the sacrifice. Yeah. You know what I mean? After everything that's going on, you're still willing to go do that.
Yeah, and I remember he told me like, hey, I need you to come with me and come train with me in New Mexico. You want to come? I was like, yeah. I thought it was going to be like a week to some month. Yeah. And we're not coming back like for a month. Yeah. I just looked at him. I didn't even think about like, man, this is a big opportunity. Like, it's not a fight. It's not winning money or anything, but it's winning a lot of knowledge and just meeting a lot of people. And I was like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah. And that's part of it. I believe that's part of it, is making the right connections and everything, and making sure, or I should say, getting the right exposure. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's a lot of connections, you know, just to get to UFC just because. I mean, like I told when I went to the first trial, like, nobody, everybody that didn't go made it to the Ultimate Fighter, and they were all from Tijuana, and I was like, yeah, why not me? Yeah, I mean, I know I'm better than those people. Like, I just beat a guy that beat a guy that's in the Ultimate Fighter right now. I mean, because I just came back from beating like a pretty big name. Like, well, I just beat Pollo Barajas. He was a pretty big name back then. He just beat everybody, a lot of people in Mexicali, like most of the top prospects in Mexicali. And I was like, I just beat him, and he just beat this guy, and you picked this guy up. Why didn't you pick me? Right. But he was training in Tijuana, like, you know, with a lot of people that had connections there.
Maybe because they do actually live on, you know, on that side of the border. Maybe they're trying to focus on, you know, that you know, that market, that Mexican market. You know what I mean? It could have been something like that. You know, like I said, it's a business. You know, that's probably why they probably just looked at that. Okay, this guy's from Mexico. You know what I mean? He lives right there right now. You know what I mean? Let's go for him.
And I remember I had like some like they like, come to Tijuana, come train over here. And when that happened, I was like so mad and so pissed, and I was like, I got a lot of pride in me. I was like, I'm gonna get a UFC, but I'm not gonna train over there. I'm gonna do it the hard way, you know. It's gonna be a little bit harder, but I'll get to the UFC. I'm gonna do good in the UFC.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna go over there. I'm gonna do it the hard way.
Yeah, and you did it, man.
Yeah.
You did it. You know what I mean? You know, okay. So you didn't get on the Ultimate Fighter, but you know what? You know, things happen for a reason.
Yeah, I think I probably was a little too young because I was back then. I was like 20 years old.
Yeah.
So I probably would have been a little too young. My striking, I feel like it wasn't. I mean, my grappling was good, but my striking wasn't like 100 like those guys would have.
Speaking of striking, how in your opinion, how do you differ, or how does boxing, you know, traditional boxing differ from MMA boxing? Because it is different, right? You know.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, what's your opinion on that? Like, can you tell us like a little bit of the differences in your opinion?
The major difference is the glove.
The glove.
Just the timing, you know. I'm always trying, like, when I'm doing pads and stuff, I'm always trying to get the smallest glove.
Yeah.
And try to hit pads with a smaller glove, because I mean, it's easy to hit somebody with a big glove.
Yeah.
It's super way easier.
Yeah.
Than try to hit somebody with a small glove. I mean, the speed comes different. Everything's very different. Hurts more.
Yeah.
You know.
I guess one of the advantages of, like, if you are like boxing with traditional boxing gloves, obviously in the guard you're shielded more. Yeah. But when you got MMA gloves, this doesn't work.
No, you got to move your head.
You got to move your head, huh?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and you can't be just hanging your head back either and stuff like that. You gotta, like, it's very different. You know, I mean, I do a lot of boxing with Antonio and Joel Diaz and in Coachella, and I mean, I do a lot of boxing like with like really good Olympians. Like, there's a lot of guys from Uzbekistan over there, and they get really good Olympics. And I go into their sport and spar them. It's like it's a whole different thing, you know.
Yeah.
Like those body shots they give you, like I don't get those body shots in MMA. You know, the body shots they hit you with, I'm just like, oh.
Right. Yeah.
I'll be sore like for 2 days.
Yeah, because they're a little bit more precise and everything. Because that's what that's what they do.
They're moving. They're just so relaxed. Their shoulders, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like they take their time. Like, it's MMA. It's a little more tense, you know.
Yeah. No, it's definitely both disciplines have their art form. You know what I mean? And yeah, I do like to watch the movement of a boxer and everything. It's like, wow, you know, they move.
And Krebs told me a lot of times, he's like, you know, that they're not afraid of the elbows and knees to take them. They're afraid of the kicks. Because he talked to a lot of boxers. He's told me that the boxer would say, like, I'm not afraid of the takedowns or the knees or anything. I'm afraid of get kicked in the
kicked in the legs. Yeah.
I mean, how do you guys do that? Yeah. That's real painful.
Yeah. Even just, you know, even when you got the insteps on.
Yeah.
You know, I remember one time we were training. I think it was at the Armory back in the day, and I think I was working out with remember Eddie Santana?
Yeah.
Okay, and we had the insteps on and everything. And we're moving around and stuff, and I remember he kicked me and he hit me like in the calf, you know, and that's before the calf kick was invented. And he kicked me right there, and I was like, holy shit, you know what I mean? Because I felt a sharp pain, I felt a numbness, and I was like, I kind of buckled, you know, and I was like, damn, yeah, you know, that calf kick is no joke, man. You know. Yeah,
it's really painful. When I fought Sam Payan, I hit him like with 4 calf kicks.
Yeah.
And I remember he sent me a message on Facebook. He's like, hey, I mean, I'm not trying to make you feel bad or anything, but just to let you know, you broke my what's this part called?
Yeah, I don't remember the name, but I know the area what you're talking about.
My fibula. He told me you broke my fibula. I was like, I don't know what it's.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean,
sorry.
Yeah. I'm like, you're trying to knock my head out. So
yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
You just told me you should have checked it.
No, I'm glad he did it. Those checks, when someone checks a kick, that hurts so bad too.
I bet it does. Huh? Especially when it's like shin on shin. Oh man, dude. I'm like, I see some of those, and I'm like, I know that hurt. I know that dude's hurting right now. Like, holy shit. You know, no, you gotta respect the game, man. You know, you gotta respect it. You know, and man, dude, again, I'm so happy to see you, dude. I'm so happy that you're doing well and everything, and providing for your family and living your dream, dude. You know what I mean? At 27 years old, dude. You know what I mean? And you're smart. You got a good head on your shoulders. You got so much support behind you. It's like man, Rafa, like everything's lining up for you, man.
Yeah.
You know, everything's lining up. You know, And I love it when guys get out of here, out of the valley, and go do something, you know, in any professional sport, you know what I mean? And I was thinking the other day, like, I mean, I'm sure maybe there's more, but like from what I know, what I get, you know, remember of, and I'll probably leave some people out, but you know, there's only so many people that have made it to a professional level in anything, you know, here in the valley. I mean, I could think back, and this is way before your time, you know, there's like Glenn Cadrez, you know, he's a football player. He played for the Broncos.
Yeah.
You know, he was here from the valley. You know, he's older than me. That's what, you know, but I remember him. And let's see, you got Robert Thomas. He went to Imperial High School, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I've seen.
You know what I'm saying? You know,
Seen his shirt.
Yeah, played for the Raiders. Okay, highest level. How are we gonna forget Andy Ruiz Jr. from Imperial as well? You know what I'm saying? Highest level, world champion.
Yeah.
You know, who would have thought that? You know what I'm saying?
Rudy.
You know? Yeah. Yeah. You know, I don't know if you remember Jeremy Jackson, the Scorpion. He fought in UFC 44.
No.
He fought Nick Diaz.
Okay, I think
Yeah. So from Imperial, made it to the highest level in the UFC.
It's awesome.
You know what I mean?
I think he fought at Strikeforce, no?
No, I don't think he ever made it to Strikeforce.
I think he fought Nick Diaz in Strikeforce. Or Nick.
No, it was a smaller promotion.
Yeah.
Yeah. They fought 3 times.
Yeah.
They fought 3 times, and I think one was. I think it wasn't King of the Hill. It was King of the Mountain or something like that. It was an event like that, King of the Mountain. And I know they fought twice. I know in the first fight, Jeremy knocked him out. In the second fight, I think he lost by decision or submitted. I can't remember. And then when they fought at UFC 44, he submitted Jeremy from the bottom with an armbar.
Oh,
you know what I
okay.
mean? Yeah. And so it said another guy from the valley, you know. Who else? I know I'm leaving. I know Robert Thomas had an older brother, Stan Thomas. You know,
Yeah.
he made it to the Houston Oilers.
Yeah, Royce too.
Royce Freeman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure there's probably more. You know, I can't remember, but there's not that many. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you are in that special class, you know, that has made it to the highest level. You know what I mean? And it's not easy to do. It takes dedication, determination. I mean, you know, and discipline.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking it's not easy. It might be a little bit harder because I'm from a small town. Because I mean, it is a little bit harder when you're from a small town because nobody knows you. You have nothing to rely on.
Yeah.
Because they're just like, okay, well, what gym do you train up from?
Yeah.
Or what gym do you come from? Because they look a lot in that.
Yeah.
Who's managing you? Who's your training partners? Like. So I mean, my dad always told me like, it's gonna be a little bit harder. You know, you're probably gonna have to work double what any other guy
out there. Yeah.
On a big gym because you don't have like a big place to go do conditioning or big gym to go train like all the advanced move. But it's not gonna be easy. But it's not impossible. You know.
Yeah, you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he knows you. He knows what you're made of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah, bro. You know, well, you know, us as fathers, you know, we want the best for our kids. You know, obviously, sons and daughters. You know, but when we see our sons out there, you know, we want them to put a stamp on life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're putting a stamp on life. You're representing your family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's gonna live forever, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're gonna be in those books.
Yeah.
You know, Rafa Gifted Garcia, UFC fighter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and whatever height you take it, you know, that's if it's in God's plan, it's gonna be there for you.
Yeah,
You know what I
sure.
mean? You know, but you gotta keep moving, keep pushing forward, and keep, you know, making it happen for yourself. You know what I mean? Keep putting that positive energy out there for yourself. You know what I mean? And good things are gonna happen, man.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And stay true the way you're going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Stay true to yourself. Stay true to the game. Stay disciplined. You know what I mean? You know, stay out of the bullshit. You know what I mean? And fuck, man. You know, you're somebody to look up to, Rafa. You truly are, brother. You truly are, man. I don't want to keep you too long. I keep telling all my guests that, you know what, maybe an hour and everything, and before you know it, you know, we go 2 hours, and you know, and I know you have a lot of things to do, but I want to ask you, what's your favorite boxer?
Favorite boxer. Probably Marquez.
Marquez. Yeah. What's one of your favorite fights that he had?
When he knocked out Pacquiao.
I think
that's probably why he's my favorite boxer.
Yeah.
I mean, Pacquiao made me mad so many times.
Yeah.
Just because he beat so many Mexicans. So, I mean,
yeah.
Marquez is my favorite one.
Yeah. And it's funny that you say that because I work with a lot of Filipinos, you know what I'm saying? And one day something came up and about their favorite, you know, athlete, you know? And it's like, oh yeah, you know, Manny Pacquiao, you know, the Mexican killer. And then I was like, just happened to be walking by, and I overheard what he said. Oh, the Mexican killer. I turned around. I go, yeah, but I go, Marcus whooped his ass, knocked his ass out, didn't he? Oh, he turned around and just walked away.
Yeah,
like, you didn't think I knew that.
And I think that's probably why. And just because he stole that fight from me like too many times, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's probably why he's one of my favorites.
Yeah. And who's one of your favorite MMA fighters?
Dan Henderson.
Yeah.
Dan Henderson's my favorite fighter.
Hell yeah! Wow. Yeah. No, that's an old school dude right there. That's like kind of. I like him because
he's scary.
But he's so quiet. I think that's what makes him scary, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's just one of those dudes. You've met him? Have you met him?
Oh yeah, I've met him once.
Yeah.
Him and BJ Penn, they're like my favorite fighters. I remember I went to go train at RVCA Aruca, and he was there, and he saw me training, and I was training with Chito that day, and he came and he was like, told me like, you're really good. You got a good future. And he came up to me and gave me water. And he like started coaching me and everything. I was like, damn, like this is my dad's, because that BJ Penn is one of my dad's favorite fighters.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's my dad's favorite, one of my dad's favorite fighters. And he's coming up to me and talking to me.
Wow.
And he started talking to me, and he was like, yeah, like, and I was like, yeah, you're like one of my dad's favorite fighters. And he's like, yeah, go say hi to your dad. And that's someone I always looked up to. And like, I remember I was cutting weight when I forgot my cost to UFC, like 2 days before leaving to Vegas. I mean, no, the day before leaving to Vegas.
Yeah.
I went to RVCA to Ruka to go cut some weight, and he came in and cut weight with me. He was like helping me cut weight and everything, so it was pretty awesome.
Wow, dude! You know what? When BJ was on top, bro, when he was like BJ Penn, bro, that I thought nobody was ever gonna beat him. Seriously, I was like, he's gonna hold on to that fight, onto that belt. Nobody's gonna take it from him. You know what I mean? When he beat up Sean Shirk, you know, to win the title, I was like he made it look easy. Yeah. You know. And what did he tell him? I remember he told him in an interview, you know, Sean Shirk, I'm gonna murder you or something. I was like, holy shit. Yeah, and he put it on him, dude.
He's so good.
Yeah, and then what he did to Joe Daddy Stevens, dude, like, man, that was a bloodbath, dude. I mean, he whooped that dude's butt so bad. I was like, holy smoke. I mean, BJ was no joke, dude.
I remember when I met him, I was like when he came in, he was talking to me. I was like so nervous just talking because I used to see his interview. I was like so mean, and like he kind of seemed a little arrogant in the interviews. I was like, man, I don't want this guy to kind of like tell me something or anything, but he was just be like super friendly. Yeah. And now every time he sees me, he'll be like, "Hey, Rafa," and he'll like come and say hi to me. Yeah. Even he always gives me a kiss in the head and everything, and I'm like, "Oh, what's up, DJ?"
Wow,
so that's pretty awesome.
See, bro, you're doing it, man. You're getting recognized. You're getting that acknowledgement from the legends. You know what I mean? Like, who can say that? You know what I'm saying? Who can say that? You know. Let me see. I think I wrote something else here I wanted to ask you. But you know what, man? I think we pretty much covered everything, dude. You know? So you're going to let us know when your next fight is, huh?
Yeah. Hopefully they tell me soon. Cub is talking to UFC right now, and he told him that I wanted to fight any date in August.
Yeah. He's a good manager, huh?
Yeah. He took over everything because Kami Safadati, he was our manager, and he passed away last year, and he was Cubs manager too. Okay. Like, he really didn't manage a lot of people. He just managed me, Cub, myself, and some other guys from the gym. Mm-hmm. Like, he had like probably like five people he managed, and he was like he really cared about us. And when he passed away, like, he didn't really need to be a manager because he was a doctor.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
he did it because he loved the sport.
He did it because he loved the sport, and he really cared about us.
Yeah.
And after he passed away, Cub told me that he was going to take over and he was going to manage me, and I mean, that's someone I trust, you know. Yeah. Trust with my career, and he he's always in my corner too. You know, even though I do my training camp over there, I always do my last 2 weeks with him, and he's the one who's always putting the game plan together and tell me I need you to do this for this camp, and talk to my coaches over there, tell him what Cub wants me to do, and put everything together. And
how old is Cub?
He's 37.
Yeah, so all right. You know, he might be at the end of it, but you know what, man? He's passing on that knowledge, and the knowledge that he does have. Like, he's probably looking at things like maybe how his career could have been a little bit better in the management aspect, or like maybe he was like, you know what, I reached this level. Anybody that I'm gonna mentor or anything, I want them to exceed that. You know what I mean? You know, I'm just guessing. You know what I mean? But I take from what I could see when he's in your corner and everything, and from interviews and stuff like that, you know, and when he's mentioned you, when he's being interviewed, like whether he's been on MMA Junkie or any of those other shows, and he has mentioned you, I could kind of sense that. You know what I mean? That he really wants you to excel.
Yeah, I mean, he's became like a big brother to me. You know, like he's not just my manager. Like, he actually like he's always like, hey, how are you? Like, how's the family? He knows all my family. He knows my dad, my mom, my wife, like my kids and everything. Yeah, and it's pretty funny because when I came back Tuesday from Orange County, I had like a little mad burn on my face, and my wife always when my daughter asked, like, hey, where's daddy, my wife told me, hey, he's with Cub. So when I got back home, my daughter saw my mad burn. She was like daddy, Cub. I was like, yeah, I Cub.
You tell her, Theo Cub did that, you know what I mean?
So it's pretty funny.
Wow. Oh, that's cool, man. That's good. Yeah, and then he's a family man himself, so he knows, man, you know. Yeah,
I mean, I cornered him in his last fight, so that was pretty cool, too. So,
I saw that, bro.
So we help each other a lot.
Yeah, when I seen you, like, watch out, he's in the corner, too, I was like, oh, man. I said, I love to see that, man. I genuinely get happy for you guys, you know, who are making it happen and everything, you know. And then, trust is a big factor. The fact, like you just said, you trust him. You know what I'm saying? And and the fact that, you know, he's a fighter himself, you know, he knows what a fighter goes through. And some guys who've never fought don't, you know, or even get trained, even spend any time on the mat, they have no clue what a fighter goes through. You know?
I mean, he mentors me a lot, just like how to be as a fighter, how to be as a person, you know, like because I mean, it's a different thing just to be a fighter, you know, because I mean, I remember one time I was walking in Vegas. I just won Grappler's Quest, and I was just walking around trying to see the UFC fight because it was the UFC Fan Expo week. And I remember one time I saw Uriah Hall, and I was like, hey, Dad, that's Uriah Hall. He's in the finals against Kelvin. I'm going to go ask him for a picture. And I got all excited. I went to him, hey, can I have a picture with you? He was like, no, bro, no pictures. And I was like 16 years old. I was like, got embarrassed, and my dad kind of laughed at me. And I was like, man. And I remember I told Cub, and that always sticks to my head. And he was like, you can't be that. You see that stayed in your head, like, you can't be like that and stuff like that. And that's that's ways that Cub like kind of mentors me, you know, like he's like, be this way, like act this way, like
But I could understand how you felt, like kind of let down, because you see this guy, you kind of look up to him, and you get kind of shined off a little bit. You're like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you feel crushed, you know, and like, but at the same time, you're like, man, I'm gonna get there. One day.
And I've told a lot of people that I remember I was training with Garcia, and I was talking to him one time, and you were talking about people like that I admire or that I used to look up to him. I remember, and I told him the same story. He was like, please don't ever you do that, Rafa. He told me, don't ever do that, because that sticks to you. That sticks in your head.
It sticks in your head.
I was like, because I mean, till this day, cause we fought in the same car, like once, in the UFC, and I just saw him, and I was like, I'm not even gonna say hi to him.
Remember me?
Wow. And Calvin is totally the opposite. Calvin is like, he's always been super helpful with me. He's a really good friend. And when he beat him, I was like, yes, Calvin.
Kelvin's like another one, man. I should have mentioned him too, you know, because from Yuma and stuff.
He's helped me out. When I found Mexico City, he got me a place to go train out there for me and Alex and everything. He kind of hooked it up out there, so he's always super nice. And every time I see him, kind of like gives me pointers. And he's like, hey, Rafa, do that. And
He seems like a really nice guy.
Yeah, he's super nice.
Yeah.
Super helpful too.
And it's crazy that he made it also to the highest level, you know, and because I refereed one of his fights in Mexicali, you know what I mean? And I was like, when I seen him coming up, I'm like, hey, he fought over here, like, holy smoke, you know, like.
He fought one of my friends. He fought Luis, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah, you know, and I was like, damn, like I actually refereed one of his fights. Like that made me feel good too, because I was like, you know, but you never know, like, you know, how one of these killers are coming up. Yeah. You know what I mean? And when he made it to the Ultimate Fighter, I was like, holy smoke. So I always rooted for him. You know what I mean? He's always been one of my favorite fighters as well, you know, and to see him at that level and like, and the dudes he takes on, man.
Yeah, big
You
guys.
know what I'm saying? Like, what the heck, you know? And
yeah, he's not. I mean, he's taller than me, but I mean, I feel like he's not that much taller than me either.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty short too, like for lightweight too.
Right. But you know, me personally, I would really love to see him at 170, and I know that weight cut's probably gonna a son of a gun to do. You know what I mean for him, you know, but. When he did fight at 170, man, he looks just way different.
Yeah,
dude.
he looks fast.
Yeah,
he's really fast.
He's fast right now. You know what I mean? And
his hand speed.
Yeah, and like his face, everything changes. Like holy smoke! You know, I wish he would go back down. You know, go down to 70s. You know what I mean? And you know, and get that weight cut under control and everything, and make it happen. Because I think he could do very well, man. You know, and I think that weight class at 170 will change dramatically if he were to cut down. You know what I mean?
Pound King is there.
Yeah.
Kamaru.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I think that'd be a good fight, dude. You know what I mean? Because like
I've wrestled Kamaru and
have you?
And over there, he's different level. He's really strong.
Really strong, huh? Yeah, I bet you feel
explosive.
it when he gets on, when he just grabs you, huh?
I've only wrestled him once, and he's really strong.
Yeah.
He like blasted me. I was like, oh shoot! I felt that power.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Kelvin, man, when he fought what's his name, the champ, you know.
Tyrone.
No. The middleweight champ.
Oh, Israel. That was a super close fight.
Dude, when he dropped him, I was like, oh, damn. But, man, you know, Adesanya has a chin on him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you know what? Nobody's really taken him, like had him in trouble like that, like really put it on him. He didn't so much have him in trouble, but he really put it on him.
Yeah.
And, you know, and after the fight, you could see that he was banged up.
Yeah.
His
face was messed up.
Yeah, his face was messed up, you know. So, you know, Kelvin got his licks in. You know, I think what happened, Kelvin kind of got tired and everything.
I mean, I feel the difference is that I always say everybody, because everybody always telling me, like, hey, Rafa, like, you're shorter. You should go down to 45 or stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, but I'm a little bit thicker and
right.
I mean, I'm used to fighting tall people.
Yeah.
They're not used to fighting short people.
Exactly.
And I feel that's a big difference, you know?
Yeah. You kind of have that advantage because you got the lower center of gravity. Yeah. You know, it helps your takedowns like crazy to get underneath and lock the hands together, lift them up. You're already there.
Yeah. And for me, I feel like it's different. It's a little bit easier to see people when people are trying to hit you, because if you think about it, people are hitting you down. So when people are trying to hit you down, like coming down on you with punches, it's a little bit easier to see, and like from people just coming like straight,
right,
a straight line.
Huh? Never thought of it that way. Yeah. Maybe you're on to what Kelvin's formula. You know what I mean?
That's how I see it. Because I feel like people got to kind of adjust.
Kelvin's gonna text you. Hopefully he sees this. He's like, Rafa, stop giving my secrets away.
No, I feel that's my secret. I don't know about Kelvin. I feel like that's why people struggle with Kelvin a lot too.
But what I noticed about Kelvin and with you too is that, you know, I think, you know, he should drop down, but the build that he has, you know, he has a really wide back. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, when like I said, I was going over some of your fights, you have that as well. You know, people don't realize like how big and muscular your back is. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I think that actually helps out. It compensates. You know what I mean?
think it's more. I think the hardest thing for me to cut is on my legs. My legs are pretty.
Your legs are big, dude.
Yeah, I have big legs and plus my back and everything. Yeah. But I'm like not that tall, but I'm like pretty like stocky.
Yeah.
I mean, last time I made 45 I was like 22 years old, and I was like, man, that's too hard. Next day I was 175. The commission sent me like nope, not anymore.
No kidding, you made it. Damn, you hydrated all the way up to that.
Yeah,
huh?
I mean, I was too big already, you know.
Wow, yeah.
I don't think I can make 45s again.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
Because I mean, I get down to 55, and I mean,
It's a weight cut.
not the hardest weight cut, but
Yeah.
it's not easy.
It's not an easy one.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you gotta, where you're comfortable at,
Yeah.
where you feel like you're most effective.
And right now that you're saying about that I have a big back, it's funny. The other day I was walking in the mall, and this guy comes and see me and told me like, "Hey, I thought you were gonna be bigger," and I was like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Yeah, because at TV your back looks this big, but right now like you look like skinny."
Right.
And I was like, "Oh, all right, thank you."
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, I'm on a diet right now.
Yeah, I thought it was so funny.
Yeah, no, like that's one of the things I was looking at when you were fighting. I was watching, how your back is shaped, and how it's how muscular your back is. You know what I mean? And I think you have a lot of strength there because those tendons and the fibers and all that. I mean that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Do you do any type of what's your weightlifting program? Do you do?
I mean, I hardly lift weights.
You hardly lift, huh?
Yeah.
Most MMA fighters, we don't hardly lift that much. Even when we used to train,
I've seen a lot of people that they love to lift weights and everything, but I like to do a lot of just like body workouts, just a lot. I do a lot of pull-ups.
A lot of pull-ups.
Like a lot of pull-ups, a lot of push-ups. Like when I'm in camp, like after I do my run, I try to do not like everything together, but like I'll do sets like to get you almost like to 60 pull-ups and then like 300 push-ups, like sets.
So you're working with your own body weight. Yeah.
Plus the condition I do, and they make me lift weights. I only do that once a week.
Okay. Oh, that's good then. And plus, man, lifting weights is so hard on the joints and everything, man. It's hard enough that your body's going through a lot of stress and everything.
Yeah. And it's crazy because people come and tell me like, "Hey, how much can you lift?" I'm like, "Not a lot."
Yeah. But if I grab onto you, it's a different story.
Yeah, but it's funny because I mean, well, I've always lived in the country, so I mean, I'm always just getting like those haystacks, just throwing them, and I've seen people that lift weight come try to do that with me, and they can't do it.
I think that's where the term, like, you ever heard the term wrestler strong? Oh, he's wrestler strong.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I remember when I first heard it, I was like, wrestler strong. I'm like, okay, so does that mean he's not that strong or he doesn't lift a lot? And then when I would, work out with some wrestlers, I'm like, this fool is strong. Like, I mean, I don't know what you meant by wrestler strong, but I mean, he feels like a damn weightlifter. You know what I mean? Like, these guys are super strong. I think it's just like that natural strength and everything. But wow. Well, dude, what do you think? Should we end it here?
Yes.
Yeah, because your wife's gonna be calling. Like,
no, she's fine.
Yeah, she's cool.
Yeah.
I kind of get that idea from her that she's a cool wife.
Yeah.
So is mine.
Super understanding, like she's super supportive and everything. Like, I've always told her, like, man, I mean, how hard was it for your parents, for you to tell your parents that I was gonna make a career when? Because I told them this is a gamble. For me, it was a gamble because I mean, I could have made it to UFC.
Did they ever watch the sport?
They did. They've always went to all my fights, but I mean, I just put myself in her parents' shoes. That I have like my daughter's boyfriend. Tells me like, hey, I'm gonna do this.
I bet they're all for it now, right?
No, I mean they've always been super supportive. But I mean, I just told her like, well, thanks for believing in it, because I mean, she's helped me a lot. Helped me a lot. I remember there was a point where like she kind of like worked and I was training and stuff like that, and now she doesn't work. So I mean, it's pretty cool.
That's good. That's real good. And plus, like, from a father-daughter aspect, like, if my daughter, I mean, I don't have a daughter, I got nothing but boys, but if I did, and my son-in-law, he was a fighter and everything and successful, even if he wasn't, I'd still be like, you know what, my daughter's in good hands. My daughter's going to be protected. And I can only imagine that that's probably from a dad standpoint to their daughter is like that's probably one of the biggest things is that to make sure that their daughter is taken care of and protected and and got somebody that's always going to be right there and not let nothing happen to her.
The thing is that I never lied to her. I never told him like, oh, okay, I'm gonna work, and no, I always told him like, no, my goals, I want to make this my living. I want to make this my career, and she believed in it.
Yeah, dude, that is so rare, dude. Yeah, that is so rare, Rafa. Like I said, man, I think everything's aligned for you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I think for me it was just being honest, just being honest to everybody. Like, I'm gonna do this. Like I never I remember when I told you about my boss. He told me like, I want you to quit. He told me, are you gonna quit? I was like, no. Yeah. This is what I want to do.
This is what you want to do.
And I mean, me being honest with him, I feel like that.
Has he been to any of your fights?
Never been to one of my fights. Never. And he's always telling me, yeah, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. And I don't know. He's never been to one of my fights. I'm always like wondering like why. Because I know he really really cares about me. Yeah. So I feel like sometimes he's kind of like gets nervous about the fights and stuff like that.
Yeah. How often do you talk to him?
I talk to him a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
And he's like I remember to one of my fights. He has like an airplane or something like that. Yeah. And he flew like a bunch of like co-workers from to my fight. Yeah. Got him a limousine and everything, but he didn't go.
He didn't go.
And I was like, why didn't he go? He was like, oh, I had some stuff to do. And I was like, you flew like a bunch of my co-workers to my fight. Like he flew like 8 people.
No kidding.
Yeah. And I was like, and you didn't go? Why didn't you go? And he was like, it's because I had a bunch of stuff to do, but I think he gets nervous. Like seeing somebody like I understand. Yeah. Seeing somebody that you care for fight, it's hard.
It is, and especially if you're not used to it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I remember I think it was Nacho. I think the first time because I had never seen him fight before. And I remember he was fighting this big old tall white guy, big dude, heavyweight. Has big old legs and everything. And I remember I was working at the time, and I snuck away. I was towing, so I was on call, and I had to, I didn't want to miss the fight. So I think it was at Nido, and then he was warming up and everything, and we're sitting there, and he looks at me, he goes, ¿Qué traes, cabrón? Oh, man, I'm nervous, He's like, what, Like, because I've never seen you fight before, I mean, I know what you do in the gym, but, this is going to be different.
Yeah, punch.
Yeah, so I remember he was warming up. We're warming up in the small room, Nido, and I think he was warming up with Eddie Jacobo. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, I remember.
Remember Eddie?
Yeah.
And Nacho was practicing the Superman punch. He goes, hey, what do you think? He was telling you, hey, what do you think? Just open up with a Superman punch. He's like, go for it, and he was warming up with that in the back. And sure enough, man, he pulled it off. He hit him with a Superman punch. The guy fell down. He swung at him, and that was it, man. Yeah. I think, man, it could have probably like 6 seconds or something like that, I remember it was a really short fight, I was like, man, he took longer getting taped up than he did in the fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and after you win it, it's like a relief, Because I'm always telling my dad, because he's always in my corner in the UFC. He's like, I go up to him, are you nervous? I'm like, no, I'm good. Yeah. But I mean, I could tell in his face that he's nervous, Yeah. And I can only imagine. I mean, just like watching my training partners fight, just on TV, it's like I get so nervous. I remember one time my brother fought him when he fought in Dan Henderson's card in Temecula.
Pochito,
yeah. He has an amateur fight, and when he fought, I was just like so nervous, and he told me, my dad, now you know what it feels like.
Wow.
And I was about to tell him, like, dude, like, let's just walk away. Like, I don't want you to fight.
Yeah.
Like, he's my little brother. He may be so big, and
well, he's not so little no more. He's tall, man. He's a big boy.
I was thinking, like, man, what if I take the fight instead of it? I don't want him to fight.
Yeah. What's he think of his big brother being a UFC fighter now?
He loves it.
I bet.
Yeah, he loves it. But I mean,
yeah. And he was a grappler himself. I remember when he was younger, man.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's really good, man. Yeah. But he was more on the heavy side when he was small. Yeah. But man, he can still grapple.
Yeah. He grew out of it.
Yeah, I remember when I seen him in after one of the football games. My sons was playing. And I seen him, and I was like, I think you were there, and I was like, what the heck? This is Ponchito. I was like, holy shit, this is a man now.
Yeah.
I was like, why the hell isn't he wrestling? You know, I'm like, why isn't he fighting? You know, like, dude, you know, good for him. What's he up to now?
He's right now. He's just working.
Yeah,
working.
Yeah. Is he getting married soon?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, he's kind of the same route as me. He's only had one girlfriend, and
he's
getting
married. I know her. That's why I'm asking. Yeah, I know her.
Yeah, they get married.
Yeah, so I was like, get married. She'll probably end up seeing this. Like, and she's gonna call him, hey, ¿qué onda?
No, I think they made it official on Instagram, so everybody knows.
Oh, real? Oh, okay. Right on. Yeah, I don't think I have him on social media, and I don't think I have her. You know, but yeah, she's a nice girl. Yeah, she's very sweet, very smart.
Yeah,
she's very intelligent as well, man. So you guys know how to pick them, man. No, that's good. But you know what, brother? I'm gonna get you out of here. But before you leave, I got something for you. Okay, and you're a large, huh? Yeah.
Now we're medium.
You're a medium.
This is a medium.
That's a medium. Well, guess what, brother? You're gonna graduate into a large, and it's just my official EazyDpodcast T-shirt.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, brother, and just to show my appreciation and thank you. This is the first edition.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? I had been wanting to do a podcast for the longest, for years, bro.
Yeah.
For years, but it just, you know, I'm not tech savvy. You know, but I like to talk, and I like to talk about stuff that I like, you know, and plus I listen to a lot of podcasts, you know, and I said, you know what, I'm going to do it, you know what I mean? And if I could help out anybody to, you know, talk about what they love, this is for you, my brother.
Thank you.
You know what? And I was kind of hoping that your dad would be here, you know.
Yeah.
And I know he's bigger than you. What is it, about an XL?
XL, yeah.
Give this to your dad, dude.
Will do.
Yeah, you know, I think, and like I said, if I had him here, brother, I'd give him a big hug.
Yeah.
And and your dad's one of those guys that, you know, every guy should look up to as a father, the way he's raised his sons and everything. And, you know, and look at you, man. You're doing the damn thing. And that's, you know, we want the best for our sons. The very, very best. So with that said, brother, we're going to go hit stop record. Let me see, what do? We did an hour and 30 minutes. So,
nice.
You know what? I broke my record a little bit. So we out of here, brother.